Good evening. Can you hear me? Got a nod. Tess, you unmuted. Can you say something just so that we know you're there?
Hello, I'm here.
All right.
Oh. Hang on a minute.
So we're doing
Can you
a,
hear me?
yeah, we're good. We're doing a split relationship thing. I sent Tess to the Gold Coast, so she's hooked up from Broadbeach. So thanks everyone for joining in. I did just post in the chat a question to kick off tonight, which would be good to perhaps just share. And the question is, my business really took off when? So be really interested. We'll see if we can get some answers from people to that question. So have a think about your business really took off when. And
Can I answer?
What's that, Tess?
Can I answer first?
You can certainly answer first. Hi to everyone. There are a couple of new faces on board. That's great. Good to see you all. All yours, Tess. Do you want to answer? My business took off when?
When the light switch went on for you, my love.
Yeah, I thought you'd have some smart-ass comment.
It's not smart ass. The fact of the matter is, when you came on board and everything that you brought that I did not have the opportunity or the time or whatever it was to facilitate, and that really, you brought a lot of what's the word I'm looking for, Craig? Organization, I guess, to the organization. So a lot of planning, a lot of process. I think you brought your man business brain to it, and started following specific processes. And so I think just in terms of building business, that is really super, super important, is to have those processes in place. And thank you for doing that, because that's really when we took off, without a doubt.
Good one.
Yeah. Okay.
Who wants to share their answer to the question, my business really took off when? Can I put you on the spot, Michelle or Minion?
I haven't yet.
There we go. What are your thoughts, Michelle? Is it taking off?
Not yet. I've got to give myself a bit of a kick up the backside. I need more confidence and a little bit more. I got the knowledge. I can talk it. I feel I like to give as opposed to sign up. So I need to deal with my own issue.
Good one.
Stop giving and start
Allowing yourself to receive, Michelle. This business is about receiving on every end. So when you are giving, you also have to allow yourself to receive. I think it's just that mindset to think that in this business, everyone is actually winning, everyone is receiving. Yeah. So if you think about it, maybe just flip it a little bit. That's just a suggestion, just something to think about.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good on you. Can I flick to you, Minion? What are your thoughts? Your business really took off or is taking off when?
I think when I hit silver, it really started to take off, like things just starting to snowball a little bit, and now really got my team starting to do workshops, confident enough to do workshops. I mean, I'm heading down to Melbourne tomorrow. I'm there till
Fantastic.
Monday. I've got a couple of workshops with Charlie. And hubby's like, oh, you're away, blah, 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 and whatever. I'm like, whatever. And I'm off to COFs in a couple of weeks. And for another person that's just showing interest in wanting to do something, because she's finally seeing, oh my gosh, she's nearly at elite and I've built this big team under her. And she's like, oh, it wouldn't take much to really, do something with this now. So, I'm running a couple of workshops for her. It's one Saturday night and one Sunday morning. And then I've got another one lined up on Sunday afternoon with someone else that wants to join, and she's got like 10 people coming to that. But, you know, as I said to Matt, it's all about duplicating myself and about them being confident in then running the workshops, and then they're on their own. So it's not like this all the time. It just takes that little bit of effort to get everyone set up, and then they're right. And I've got, you know, other team members the same this month that are off doing their own workshops, and, you know, I'm not having to you know, run them for them, but I don't mind helping them out at the start so they've got that confidence to you know how to do a workshop. So
well done.
But anyway, that's when I think it started to take off.
I think
that's when the business starts to take off. I think when you have that mindset as well, Minion, and Michelle, this is possibly, you know, just something to learn from Minion as well, is that when you duplicate yourself and you actually have that confidence where you just say to your team members, hey, I have full confidence in you. You can do this. I'm going to be there to support you, but you can do this on your own as well. You know, and so I think, Minion, that's really cool when you can sort of step back a little bit and allow your team to, you know, to do their thing, allow them to really to fly and to build their own confidence and develop their own team from there on.
I suppose in a way I've done that myself. Like, I never went to a workshop when I did my first workshop. You know, I haven't had anyone come and run a workshop for me at all. Like, it's just all been me, and you know, that's because, you know, I live, you know, 4 hours really away from everybody. It's like a location thing, but you know, you just sort of got to watch Jesse's video and you just read off the sheet. Like, it's not, it's all there for you. As I said to people, if they don't know an answer to a question, just say, I'm not quite sure, you know, I'll find out for you and get back to you. You know, and they're not going to be, you know, rather than just sort of guess, you know, you just sort of say, oh, I'll get back to you about that. And I've done that before, where I've had a few curly questions and I've just gone, okay, I'll send you some information on that. So, yeah.
Good on you. That's really exciting. I think there are a couple of things that you've mentioned that are really important, and that's when you empower other people and when they get engaged, and then there's a fair bit of work, obviously, that you've done to get your own knowledge to the level that you're comfortable to stand up, and if you don't have the right answer, then that's fine. It doesn't matter. But if you can duplicate yourself, as you said, then the snowball will really start, and that's what it's all about. But you've got to put that effort in initially. You can't sit and wait for it to happen. You've got to have the dates in your diary, and you've got to book the classes, and we know that's the model. It's easy. You can't not do it. It's the only way it's going to grow. So does someone else want to volunteer an answer to our question? My business really took off when? I see you just logged on there, Tanya. Do you want to have a quick think and tell us your business is taking off and going berserk? Your business started taking off when what?
When we started to focus or shift the focus and help other people introduce their people rather than feeling like it all had to come from us. So yeah, just kind of it's a shift of feeling like you have to do it yourself versus helping others to do it more, and then you start to notice that, oh, something's happening over there, something's happening over there, something's happening over there. And it's not necessarily from your own personal action.
Good on you. That's quite true. You only need 3 people to become silver, don't you?
Yeah.
And those 3 people need to find some more people. And if you only know 3 people who are interested in the business and are sharers, then that's all you need. And that can get you to silver. But if you can duplicate that and get them to do the same thing, then that's when it really starts building momentum. Danielle, you've got a dark screen. Are you listening? And can I, because I saw you comment yes. Do you want to add a comment around what your thoughts are? Obviously, between the two of you, what are your thoughts? My business is really taking off, or has took off when?
It hasn't really yet.
It's starting to.
It is. What's changed for you guys?
Mindset, really, and actually making the time and focusing on making it not just a hobby.
Treating it like a business.
Yeah, good comment. Yep.
Mm.
Awesome. That's great. Does anyone else want to just unmute themselves and throw in? Otherwise, we'll move on to a couple of other things. Anyone else got some ideas around what you think your business, what would make your business change? If there's anyone who has a thought, an idea, just either way, near it, I'll unmute you. There you go.
Hey, I think that for me, what worked for me is to come from a true place where you allow yourself to be vulnerable and share. So when I did my classes at the beginning, I tried to know everything and to study everything. And when I did a class, it went okay, but I did not feel right. And then I've done a class about a month ago, and I had all my notes ready, and I had 15 people looking at me, and I just said, you know what? No, this is not going to happen. I just chucked all my notes away, and I said, you know what? This is me. This is my story. How I got to doTERRA from my son. My son's autistic. I was trying to find solutions to help manage his emotional roller coaster. And it's amazing the feedback you get from other people when you allow yourself to be vulnerable in that manner. And then everybody, my son has anger issues. Oh, I'm dealing with this, and I'm going to do, because you don't come in a condescending way. You don't come as a person who knows it all, and genuinely trying to help. Speak of which, this is my son. Say hello.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome.
Yeah, so it's the zoo hour over here, so I try to lock myself in the room while my husband tries to get the kids into bed. And I'm sure you all know what it is, but yeah. So, but when that happened, it's magic, because people relate for that. People relate because everybody has issues. Everybody deals with, excuse my language, some shit that happens in their lives.
Yeah.
And when you address it and we say it like it is, it's amazing what you get. And it's been really coming along. I can see how people are. I've been getting texts from people. I was touched this week. 4 people got back to me and said, one of them was seriously, she has myeloma, and she went to a hematologist. She broke down a hematologist because her results came in amazing. And we never say doTERRA cures, treats, diagnoses, anything like that. We autoimmune, help our body, you know. And she says, Nurit, you have no idea how you have changed our lives. So she's got 4 autistic boys and 1 Down syndrome girl. She's got a lot on her plate. And for me to get that, it tops it all off better than anything or any money or anything like that. Because when you make that profound change in people's life, it shows, it just comes back. And a lot of people, I live in Port Macquarie, it's a small place, everybody knows everybody, and it just goes from one to another, one to another, one to another. Today I met 2 people who are going to enroll. Next week I'm scheduled to meet another 3 who are going to, I think in a month or 2 I'm going to hit Premier, which is for me a great achievement.
Fantastic.
And but I think that's for me what happened, is genuinely trying to help people. I try to help my daughter's school principal with his pregnant wife. The very next day he came, and where can I get that in a 10-liter size bottle? And you know what? That little gesture, that one random act of kindness, he has now diffusers going with essential oils in every class in his school.
Wow.
It's amazing. The teachers' feedback about the concentration of the kids, focus, calm, because I know how it is for me, for my house. I know how it is when your kids are heightened, and it's crazy. But, and that's it. Now then today another teacher says, I want to get into doTERRA. So she's placed an order. So, I mean, I think it's just like that to happen. But when it comes from the right spot, it does. For me, at least, this is my.
Oh, wow. What an amazing
Well done.
share. You've just shared, I think, the heart of what doTERRA is about, Nurit. And it cannot do anything else but do good for people when you come from that space.
Exactly right. And I'll tell you what, because when you, it's amazing. It comes naturally, because you don't have to promote the products. The products are exceptional. I had not even one person says, I don't like it. Everybody keeps on ordering. No one stopped. They
Yeah.
all love it. Just gaining momentum.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I had deal. I lost my mom, and it devastated me. It put me in areas where I could not handle anything. And then I attended PJ and Euro were here in Port Macquarie, and I attended the class, and they've given me Forgive, and it just changed so much in me, in the way I looked at things, and it's little things like that, you can't pinpoint. I think and when you do that, then you gain your confidence as well, and you believe in yourself, because you're not selling crap to people. You're giving them genuine, good, holistic approach to life.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
No,
Absolutely.
Well done. Thank you very much for
so
sharing.
much for sharing. That's just
fantastic.
truly beautiful. Thank you so much.
It's
And
okay.
I think we often hear, and it's worth remembering, that sometimes it's a little bit selfish if we don't share.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if we know what these things are about, and we know how people respond to the oils, we can't stop. We owe it to ourselves, and we owe it to all of these people that we talk to who's struggling with whatever issue that we know we can help them with. And it's very selfish to not have classes and not to share. And certainly, I mean, if Tess mentioned our business changed when I got involved, but I think our whole business changed 18 months ago when we started really talking to people about what we've seen the oils do. So, and for me as well, I mean, I walk around corporate world in Brisbane with a key ring with essential oils and dish them out left, right and centre. Not because I'm trying to sell anything, but because people are complaining about headaches or sore muscles or issues. But thank you for sharing. That's lovely. Does anyone else want to just add anything and around what they think will be the key to success in their business taking off or expanding? Any other thoughts? If you've got anything, just unmute yourself or give us a wave and I can unmute you. Otherwise, I'm going to jump across to a PowerPoint and we'll talk about some placement questions that have come up. We're all good? Okay, excellent. So what I thought I would do is the following. Let me just jump across there. So I had to share that. It is the 4th of July, or 4th of May, sorry. May the 4th be with you. So that had to be on the front end of my slide, but let me just move that one on. Okay. Tess and I ran a business training class on Sunday, and there were a number of questions that have popped up over the last couple of weeks around placement and how to place. And I just thought there are a couple of slides that we put together that are worth sharing. And I know we've got some people online that are reasonably new and are building their business. So as we go through, if anyone's got any questions around placing, please just unmute yourself or pop a question in the Zoom chat, because placement it is complicated, but we'll try and keep it as simple as we can. But I'll run through a couple of slides that we had put together. The first thing from our side is we always use the Share Success Build Guide and Share Guide as a really good place to learn about what the business is about. So this page, for example, comes from the Share Guide or the Build Guide at least, and it's a really good place to have a chat to a new wellness advocate or someone that you enroll who's interested in sharing or talking about the business. So if you don't have copies, maybe have a look at getting hold of some for yourself. You can have a look at sharesuccess.com and you can download the Build Guide or the Share Guide. If you want to order some, you can order them directly from Aroma Tools if you want some hard copies, but they're really, really good. This one just gives you a brief overview of obviously what you need to look like in order to rank and build your business. But one of the things that we mentioned on Sunday, and it's an interesting one because often people don't understand the difference between when they enroll someone themselves or when someone above them places someone below them so they become the sponsor. And there's an interesting way that we've posed to people on Sunday to make you remember how this works. And the question goes like this. It says, who will be my 3 people in separate legs who I can get to elite? Okay, so I'm just going to jump through to there. So who will be my 3 elites in separate legs? And it's important to remember that to get to Premier, you need your 2 legs. And if you want to go to Silver, you need 3 legs and 3 elites. And there are a couple of points in there that are really important. Firstly, they need to be your 3 people or your 2 people. So you need to have enrolled yourself, at least 2 people if in separate legs if you want to go to Premier, or you need to have enrolled at least 3 people in 3 separate legs, each of them elite if you want to go to Silver. So remember, it's about you having enrolled someone, and they need to be in a separate leg. We have had a situation where people have misunderstood that, and they've had one leg with 2 different sub branches in the leg, and they thought, can I rank off that? It only counts as 1. So remember, the question is, which 2 or 3 people have I enrolled that are going to help you rank advance? Okay. So the other really important thing that we're seeing at the moment with all the specials from last month around the holiday special and the Mother's Day special, remember that for Fast Start, for you to earn Fast Start bonus, you have to have 100 PV order in your back office at all times, okay? Because the Fast Start is calculated from a Monday through to a Sunday, and if you don't have 100 PV order in your back office, when they run that calculation on a Sunday night, you will not get paid Fast Start the next week. So we've got a situation, and here's an example where somebody is elite on the 20th of April, which was the holiday special. They placed an LRP order, and included in that LRP order, they had the holiday special, and that was placed and went through immediately on the 20th. But because the holiday special is a limited time order, it's dropped their LRP to below 100. And this person has not realized that, and they're now sitting with a loyalty reward order of 18.5, which means on Sunday night this week, if they haven't got that up to date to 100, this person is probably not going to get a Fast Start bonus next week. So if you do have yourself like that, or if you've got anyone in your team who wants to earn commission and wants to earn Fast Start, be very aware that you need to make sure that you've got your loyalty rewards order set at over 100 all the time. And one of the points to make there is, remember, even if you don't enroll anyone that week, because Fast Start is 20% on the people you enroll, but it's 10% on the people they enroll and 5% on the people that those people enroll, you might not know that someone you enrolled has actually enrolled someone. So if you don't have your 100-point loyalty rewards order in place, you could miss out on 10% from that second level of someone else who's enrolled that week and you just weren't aware of it, or 5% of people that they enrolled. So it's really important to get on top of the business and understand how you're going to get paid, and then make sure always that you've got your 100 PV order in place, okay? So that's just a situation that's come up now off the back of these specials, because people haven't reset that loyalty rewards order. And I know that people have had this happen in the past, but it is really, really important. And for those who are new, just remember that the American dates are back to front. So you kind of have to get used to the idea that it's 05/15 means the 15th of May. And those are things that are worth having a look at and getting on top of.
Craig, am I muted?
No, you're good.
Okay, so I just want to add to that. I think it's always a great idea to, when there's a limited time offer, like we've just had, is to actually create a second loyalty rewards order and order your limited time on a different loyalty rewards order, and keep your loyalty rewards set up at 100 PV separately to limited time LRP. That's just a bit of advice, I think, to prevent this sort of situation from happening, and then people miss out on their commission.
Yeah. All right, that's really good. So have a look at your business, have a look at people who you might have enrolled below you, and it would be worth just checking with your tree that they have in fact got their loyalty rewards set up on 100 now, that they may have had that special offer come through last month. So that was one that we've seen happen in the last couple of days. The other thing that we shared on Sunday is, remember, if you get the activity going and you get people to enroll, that you will earn the Fast Start on their first 60 days. So this is just an example where someone enrolls with a Home Essentials kit. You're going to get 20% of the 235 PV when you enroll them in that first week. That's $47 that's going to come through to you as a Fast Start. Then in the next, that's Australian, isn't it, Tess?
I thought it was US.
I think it's 20% of PV done in Australian dollars. I'm not sure. I can check that. And then if they do 100 PV order and you get them on loyalty rewards to maybe buy the LRP next month, then potentially you're going to pick up another 20% off that, because you're going to earn that as well. And then the third month might still be within the 60 days. So you can earn another 20% as part of that Fast Start bonus. Alison, you had a question. Can I unmute you?
Yep.
There you go.
Sorry, I was trying to type into the chat, but I'm on my phone. Fast Start is paid in the currency in which it is purchased. So if someone purchases an Australian Home Essentials kit, the Fast Start will be paid in Australian dollars.
Cool.
If they purchase a US order, then it will come out as, it will still be in the dollars, but then you'll see on your payment chart, you'll get the conversion, whatever the conversion rate is that month. So doTERRA average out the current conversion rate. So say if it was $47 US, then it would be multiplied by like 1.3 to come into Aussie dollars.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thanks for that. That's great. Okay, so the nice thing about that is if you get momentum going and you book 1 or 2 dates a week to talk to 1 or 2 people, and even if you enroll 1 person a week, you could potentially earn $87 odd off each of those people that you're enrolling. So if you're enrolling 4 people a month, you could be generating for yourself $400, almost $400 as part of Fast Start. But it's all about keeping that momentum and keeping the activity going and talking to people and sharing and continuously sharing. So the Fast Start is a really, really good way to cover the cost of your oils if you're keen to get your business going. So if you even enroll 2 people in a month and you keep doing that, you're going to have potentially $180 every month in Fast Start, which will more than cover your own order for you to place your 100 PV order every month. So keep that in mind. Fast Start is really, really valuable. Don't underestimate that, especially as you build.
And sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, Craig. And that doesn't count your team members that are enrolling either. So yeah,
absolutely.
The same. I'm seeing the 20 and the 10 and the 5% coming through, and all those little 5% still add up when you've got a few there. So
definitely,
yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, on every one of those, if you're getting $47 yourself, that means you're going to be getting $23 for everyone that those people enroll, and you're going to be getting another $11.50 or whatever for everyone that they enroll. So as you duplicate the business, you can quite easily start seeing hundreds of dollars coming through every week in Fast Start. But it's about duplicating and getting that momentum. All right. The other thing, obviously, that we shared on Sunday, and I just want to touch on this, and it goes back to the initial point that I made at the start. Who are going to be the 2 or 3 people that you've enrolled who are going to become your elites? So you know, or if you're not sure and you've just joined, effectively all the way up until elite, so manager, director, executive, and elite, is really just about you and the total volume of what is bought below you. So you can get to elite without enrolling anyone, without actually having any single person that you have signed up in this business. You could get to elite if people are being placed underneath you by your upline, and if that total volume gets to 3,000. But you will not get to Premier, and you won't get past elite unless you yourself sign up at least one person in each of 2 legs. And you won't get to silver unless you've signed up 3 people in 3 separate legs. So we talk about making sure that you get in quickly. If you've got an upline that keeps enrolling people below you, you want to make sure that you can find someone who's a friend or a family member or someone who loves the oils and is keen to join your business, enroll them underneath you as quickly as possible, so that if people get placed underneath that, you are the owner of an enrollee somewhere near the top of your leg. Because down the track, that's going to help you get to Premier. It's going to help you to get to silver, because you're going to have that person who could become your next elite. All right. So keep that in mind. If you've started the business, it's great to have momentum and to keep encouraging people quickly and get someone that you can sign up into your leg there as well. Okay. So the other point that is really important to remember, and there's a video on our Healthy Wealthy Facebook group, and there's also obviously a lot of videos in YouTube, and on Jessie's website, she's done this. There's a difference. Here's an example of 2 different people. One person has enrolled 5 people and has placed them one below each other, and each of those people have purchased a 100 PV order. On the right-hand side, you've got someone who's forgotten to place and has just enrolled them all 5 on their front line. And we see this all the time. We often see that people don't necessarily learn how to do a sponsor change, or no one's taught them, or they forget them on their front line. So if you look at those 2 examples, what's the difference? Anyone want to volunteer an idea of what's different in those 2? What will happen differently in these 2 examples?
So, uni level to start with, is where you're going?
Yep, so definitely from a uni level point of view, you get paid more further down the levels. So if this is you and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels down, if you are at a elite level, you can earn up to 6% down 5 levels. So if you've got people going down 6 levels, you're getting 6% on the 6th level. Whereas if they're all on the same level up at the top, you're only getting 2% on that front line from a uni level. Alison, you also put your hand up there as well. Unmute you.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say the same thing, and I'm just looking for my compensation chart. So I'm pretty sure elite you only go to 4 levels. But basically, if you got them all on level 1, it's only 1%, whereas level 2 is then, is it 3% and then 5% and then 5%?
5 and 5 and
then
6.
6%
Yep.
and then 7.
The other point,
So, yeah.
the other point in this case is this person here that you've just enrolled underneath you, in the example on the left-hand side, they're going to have what? 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 OV adding up to them, which gives them a rank of manager.
Direct.
So
Yeah.
as a manager, you go to 500 OV. So yeah, we've already got someone rank advancing. So if this person is in any way interested in sharing, they've already ranked advanced to manager, which means if they stay on 100 PV and loyalty rewards order, they're going to start earning commission themselves as a manager, which gives them 2 levels as a manager, 2 and 3%. Whereas here on the right-hand side, there's 500 OV, but no one has got more than 100. So it's really important in the structure of the business to understand why we put them below each other, because you're encouraging people to see and feel what it's like to actually start earning an income, and you can help support people to rank advance in that business model. So really important not to miss the opportunities where someone is keen to share. So if you've got 4 or 5 people and you can have the chat with them around sharing, it's really worth having them on your front line or up at the top of the tree. Okay. I'll answer. Kathy's asked a question. If the person on your front line is not your enrollment, but you have an enrollment under them, if they build a second leg and I add to that leg, does it count as 2 legs? No, it doesn't. So it's 1 leg from your front line. It doesn't matter how many splits happen down below that. If someone else if someone builds on your front line, that is 1 leg. So you don't want to split underneath that with multiple builders, because it still only counts as 1 leg for yourself in order to rank advance. Okay. So one of the other questions which has come up is how deep do you go? And I'll cover that now. So here's an example that I put together around how do you start off and how far do you go? Okay, so let's take this example. This is you. You've got an enrollee just below you, somewhere close by, and this leg is starting to go down fairly deep. How far do you go? Because you know that at a premier level, you can go down and get up to 5 levels. 6 levels. I'm just looking at the compensation plan. And at silver, you can go to 7 levels. Now, remember, that's not just 7 levels. It's more complicated than that. It's how many people are ordering. It's what other ranks are below you. But in principle, if you've got 7 people below you ordering, you're going to earn 7 levels. If people are not ordering in between there, they basically get left out and you will still go down 7 levels. So what we always talk about is try and build a leg to a regular or as close to regular 2,000 volume in that 1 leg as you can. All right? But remember, you've got to think ahead of what's coming next. So if you can get that 1 leg to be starting to get to 2,000, then you're in the start of going to Premier, because Premier is 2 legs, 2,000 each, with a total volume of 5,000. So if you're starting to build and it's starting to get too deep, what you may want to do is find one of your enrollees further down and think about whether you add someone in there so that you're not 20 levels down if you still haven't found the right builder for your second leg. So you may think about splitting off further down if you want to think about that, because you're not going to get any uni-level bonus from someone who's 20 or 30 down if there are a whole heap of people below you. Okay. But the first thing that you want to do is you want to find a sharer who you can put up here on your front line so that you're thinking about going to Premier. And what you really want to do is trying to grow to Premier with 2 legs. So if you can find a new sharer who is keen to have a class, is keen to share, they're happy to get the Empower kit, then we would call them a sharer and ready to build. So if you can have your left side of your leg with a regular 2,000 volume and you can then start building the right leg, then you're well on track towards heading to a Premier level. And even if you get to the 3,000 overall volume below you, you're going to get to Elite, and at least you're starting to think about having 2 legs heading towards Premier. Okay? Tanya just asked a question. If that person on the top goes inactive and you have 2 people on level 2, does that roll up and become 2 legs? Yes, it does. So if someone falls out and there was a split below them, they move straight up and they go onto your front line. So you do need to just keep an eye on it. Inactive is something that kind of happens down the track at 12 or 13 months, but be aware of it if someone is not ordering, and if it's a major part of your business, you may want to think about whether you can actually substitute that person and replace them. But that's a whole separate conversation, but it is something that you need to keep an eye on if you've got someone who's inactive and there's a split below them. Okay, so we speak about the tips around building your business. We say get in quick. So what we mean by that is if you're building and someone above you, your upline is building, you want to get somebody like this green person over here who is a friend of yours or someone who's interested in sharing. You may want to try and get them in quickly somewhere near the top of that leg, so that if volume is added below them, then you're going to help that friend or that person get to become your next elite, or they'll be the start of your premier one premier leg. Okay?
Craig, your screen's gone black. I don't know if anyone else.
Is it totally blank? So, okay.
Don't see the PowerPoint.
Tess, you there?
Yes.
Okay, can you see the screen now?
Yeah.
All right, so get in quick, find somebody who can sit at the top of your tree, and if you're helping people build, before you place underneath them, try and see if they've got a family or friend or someone who's interested in sharing who can come in below them, because that'll help them rank off that leg instead of having people way down. Secondly, keep talking to your people about loyalty rewards, because that's really going to be the foundation of your business going forward. Definitely try and look for people who are actively interested in sharing their essential oils with others, because those are the ones that you're going to want to encourage and support. Because if you can find these like-minded people who want to change the way they clean their house and what chemicals they use, those are the sort of people who are going to stay on loyalty rewards and keep ordering. And then the sixth point there is have a look at whether you can build to elite by having two legs, because then you're positioning yourself really, really well for a premier position further down the track. Okay. I just want to check the chat because there was a question on there. All right. The other point that we make, which is something that we always teach, is when you enroll someone, you do have the opportunity to actually put in on the application form under their contact details. You can choose a sponsor ID if you have an idea of where you want to put them. We suggest that you don't fill in anyone in that sponsor ID. The reason we say that is rather leave them on your front line, but diarize that very, very well so that you don't forget about them on your front line, because it gives you the 14 days to choose where exactly you want to put them that's going to be best for your business. So what do we mean by that? Well, this is an example of someone who possibly has two legs and they may be trying to build to premier. And if this leg on the left-hand side has 2,150 PV, but the right-hand leg only has 1,420, if you leave these three new people that you've enrolled on your front line, you've got 14 days to place them so that you can build your business and get the best result that month. So yeah, we've got almost 700 or just over 700 PV ready to place. So if we hadn't put them there and we had placed them in underneath this leg initially, you're not going to end up with 2,000 in each leg and you're not going to make premier. But in this case, if you wait and use the 14 days to place them, you can do your sponsor changes towards the end of the month so that each leg ends up at the right level, and that can help you reach your rank before the end of the month. So be smart about when you're going to place those people and leave them on your front line if possible, so that you get a better idea of to where to place them. The other thing is it gives you the 14 days to do the wellness consults. We're all doing the wellness consult, hopefully. So if you have the 14 days to do the wellness consult, you can at least talk to them about the loyalty rewards program, about lifelong vitality, and you can then make sure that when you place them, that they're on loyalty rewards. And in the current couple of months when we've got the Rose competition and those sort of things, then the loyalty reward starts becoming really, really important. So we always suggest don't put the sponsor name in when you enroll them, rather leave them on your front line and use those 14 days to place them for a sponsor. But don't forget about it, please. Make sure you put it in your diary, put alarm bells somewhere so that you don't forget about them on the front line. Okay. And I just wanted to share with you, this is a real situation that's in our business currently. This is further down the tree somewhere. And here you can see two people that unfortunately either don't know about sponsor change or just have not been taught about it, because we've got someone potentially with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people sitting on their front line, 3 of which are on loyalty rewards, and they've done nothing to potentially be smart around putting them one below each other or actually allocating them. So have a think about, keep an eye on this, and really make sure that you teach the people that you enroll to place properly and not to forget them on their front line, because it can really be a loss of income and can lead to some of these people that have been enrolled not rank advancing, as we shared that example a little bit earlier. So guys, please make sure, those are just a couple of things that we wanted to share around the placement bit, where we've had questions in the last few weeks around it. I know that placement and strategy gets complicated, and it's really always a good idea to talk to your upline about what you're doing and where you're placing, because if anyone knows what's going on in the downline, it's generally the people in your upline, and they'll probably know your downline, your tree, in some cases better than what you do, because they're looking at it all the time. And we will look at our tree and towards the end of the month make decisions about where we might place people we've enrolled, because we might have legs that are short to get to silver or short to get to elite. So your upline really are aware of what's going on in your tree as well. So I just wanted to stop there and throw it out. Has anyone got any questions off the back of that around the placement, or if you're learning, you've got questions around how to enroll and how to get going? Has anyone got any questions on that? Either put your hand up or unmute yourself, or Michelle, I'll just unmute you and then I'll go across to James as well. Michelle?
Just with that, so I've got one very strong leg. Second leg is not that strong. I don't really have too many builders in there. I think there's 2 people that are on LRP. It's sitting at 5 deep. Obviously, I would like that leg to try to get me through to Premier. I've got the overall volume, but I don't have that second leg. Do you think that I keep building that leg deep, or do I go back up to the top of that same leg?
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. If there's anyone up near the top that is interested in sharing it all, you'd only go back up there and support them if they have someone to enroll and they're keen to have a class, and they kind of put their money where their mouth is as well, because then you'll support them. But for now, at 5 deep, keep going. And put it out there that you're looking for that next sharer who's going to become your elite and your premier in that leg, and kind of have those conversations with anyone new that you're enrolling, I think. Does anyone want to add to that?
Yeah, I agree.
Very good.
Yeah. I've got no builders, lots of users.
Yep.
So
And users are great because they do keep giving you the volume, and that keeps you having a couple of elites.
Yeah.
And if all else fails and you still haven't found anyone, then see if there's a family member who's happy to place a 100 order for you, so that they go in there to be your enrollee from who you can rank off of in that tree, who could become your next elite in that tree.
yeah.
And see if there's, because we've got a number of people who've signed up mum or grandma or sister just below them, and then continue to build. And at some point in time, they then switch on that 100 LRP so that those people's orders are covered when they're at elite level. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you've got your enrollee somewhere at the top of that tree and it's a family member who's benefiting. So keep that in mind as well. That may be an option. James?
Yeah, I've done that with my mum.
Yep. And that's where, I know, I think Hayley's done that as well under her diamond tree. She's got her mum and her sister in there as 2 silver legs. So use that opportunity. If you've got family and you don't have anyone building, look at a family member going in, because they could get to elite and then do 100 PV order every month, and they pay for their order and you rank off of them straight away, which is great. So if you do have a family member who's keen to do that, have a look at them going into the top of your tree somewhere. James, did you have a question as well, mate? Did you? There we go.
Yeah.
You're unmuted.
No, I was just being a smooth criminal and putting my arm around Danielle. That was all.
It's all good. Any other questions at the moment around the placement or building? Alison, you mentioned you do the opposite around, is that around the sponsorship placement?
Yeah, so what I recommend, because people do forget to move them in the 14 days, I say to them, put them in the place where you think they're going to go straight away when you enroll them, and then you've got 14 days to decide if that's right, and if it's not right, you can still move them. So you haven't wasted your moves, so to speak.
Yeah.
And that way, if they forget, they're not on your front line, because we have girls forget, or with the time difference, they forget when the clock counts down for the days and that sort of thing.
And it counts down to 1 and then it goes to 0, but you can still actually do a sponsor change on 0. So you never really know how many days. Is it 13 or 14, and is it 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock when daylight saving kicks in? So I agree.
Does that work very well for you guys in your organisation?
Yeah, it has worked really well, because you sort of place where you think that person initially belongs, and then you've got 2 weeks to maybe talk to the person who you've placed them under, and if they don't want someone under them for whatever strange reason, or the person says, oh no, I do want to be a builder or whatever, you've still got that second move up your sleeve.
Yeah.
Whereas I find if you put them on your front line, and then, like the next day you might move them, and then you get to chat to them and you're like, oh, they, you might find out that they're a friend with someone in your, in another leg.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's worked. Maybe something. Yeah, it's maybe something that we can have a think about as well, sort of, and just see how that might work. We might try it out ourselves a little, hey, Craig?
Yeah. Alison, have you ever had any issues where you've placed someone like that on enrolment, and then someone ends up getting placed below them before they get moved within the 14 days?
No, not usually.
Because if
I sort of encourage all the girls to talk to each other before they sponsor place, if possible, to see if, if the person that you're placing under is happy to look after them, or to speak to the new person and see if they know anyone else in your team, because then you can put them together.
Excellent.
No, we haven't had that issue, but again, if they've placed them there as the initial placement, then they could be moved as well, so that wouldn't be an issue. Yeah. It's just me being like ultra worried.
No, that's good. And I think especially if people are not onto a diary and are not right on top of their business, there's a real chance that they can forget. And I know, I think in the first
I've
year,
forgotten.
yeah, I think in the first year that we were on tests, we've got 4 or 5 that were forgotten on our front line.
Yeah.
Well, I had an incident where I thought I had moved someone, but it was when we had all the fires in Western Australia and the internet was dropping in and out. So I thought
Yeah.
I'd done the move, and then when we got internet back a few days later, it hadn't been done. And I contacted placements and they said, too bad. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
had a
Wow.
national bushfire and we lost internet connection. I thought I had done it. And
yeah.
they said, nah, too bad. So she was stuck on my front line.
Wow.
All right. Okay, so
So then after that, I went, oh, I might put them somewhere just to be safe.
yeah, good on you.
So there you go.
Cool. Okay, well, it's good to hear that there are obviously pros in doing them both ways. And if you've got
Yeah,
someone
definitely.
who doesn't have a diary system and you're worried that it's going to be forgotten, then absolutely go down that route. That's cool. Very good. All right, folks, any other questions around the business or anything else around placement? Otherwise, we're at 8:27 and we'll probably leave it there. Who's got their Manuka and who likes it? Manuka oil, yes, we've got a heart. Michelle, you love it. Minion, good. Nuit, fantastic. James, you like Manuka as well. That's awesome. Tanya, haven't opened it. No way.
Sorry. I was going to say, sorry, Craig, I didn't quite understand with your accent there. I didn't know what you're saying to start with.
Jeez.
We call it Manuka. I don't know.
It's Manuka is the actual pronunciation. We're the Kiwis online. We don't have any Kiwis. Michelle, yes.
Rob Young assured us that even though the Aussies say it Manuka, it is Manuka.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much, Minion. Go back to your box.
It's not
You're right, Craig. I'll stick up for you. It does
Right.
sound odd, but you are correct.
I might have Maori blood. I just can't speak a word.
Yeah, we'll get you to the haka a little later, Michelle. Thanks.
I love it.
All right, awesome. Guys, cool. So that's it from our side. Thank you for everyone joining in. Really appreciate it. If anyone's got any questions, please post on our Facebook group. We did put in the Facebook group that the co-author of the Essential Emotions is in Australia on the Sunday night in Perth after the leadership weekend on the Sunday night. If you're there still on the Sunday, you may want to have a look at going to that. She's then heading off to Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane on the 13th or 14th of June. It's in our Healthy Wealthy. If you're interested in going along to that Essential Emotions presentation, it's a 3-hour class, which will probably be really, really good to go along to. So have a look at that. If you want more info, it is on the Healthy Wealthy website. Otherwise, check with your upline. It's going to sell out really quickly if you're keen to learn more about the oils and emotions, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you
they've
very
got
much.
They've got very limited space available, between 80 and 100, I think, per venue.
Yeah.
So get in. I've just ordered mine. So hope to see you guys there.
Excellent.
Craig,
Gonna be
Yes,
good.
Tanya.
do you know, is that author affiliated with doTERRA, or is that just a general book?
No.
I've only got the app.
No,
No.
it's not doTERRA branded or supported. It's just an independent oil and emotions publication, the book.
So it's Amanda Porto is one of the co-authors. She's going to
Yeah.
come out and do some training. So just have a bit of a look on the web page, on the web, on the group, and
It's
the info's there.
It's different people to the app. The app was written by Natalie Goddard and a few of the other ladies from Share Success.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the book is written by this lady and also a gentleman, I can't remember his name, Daniel somebody.
Daniel, that's right.
Yeah, so it is written for doTERRA oils, but you won't see doTERRA written in there.
Yeah.
Same as the Modern Essentials.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what
Beautiful.
I was questioning, whether it was totally, not
No,
listed at
because
all,
it's got
or
all
whether
the
it was
doTERRA blends.
semi.
Nah, all the
does,
doTERRA blends are in the book, but under the generic name. And this lady's one of the authors of the book.
Beautiful. Hey,
Excellent.
Alison, nice of you guys to join us tonight. Sweet. I love it.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Good one.
Are we going to see you in Perth?
Yep, I'll be there.
Beautiful. We'll see you then. Okay.
Excellent.
Over and out from me. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye,
Appreciate
Jess.
it. We'll chat to you all again soon. See you later. Bye.
Bye, Craig.
Bye.